What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I'm filming outside the house, so there's so much noise, so you'll bear with me for that. Yeah, so you'll once in a while hear some sound on the side. I'm so sorry for that. I just really needed like good lighting, and this place is perfect. So today I want to talk about feminism. I am a feminist. I identify as a feminist, and a lot of times the comments that you get when you talk about being a feminist are always negative. Like, everyone believes that you hate men, you are abrasive, you had to live with, and all these things that people have as misconceptions. And I wanted to just define myself, not that I need to, but for anyone who is interested to learn what feminism really means. From my perspective, again, doesn't have to be how everyone interprets it, but I recently had a conversation with someone who was previously my friend and then not really friends anymore. So we had like this sort of mini confrontation, and she just decided, like, I know you're a feminist, I know you what, like really in a very rude way, pretty much, like sort of like you're behaving like you're confronting me, because like for everyone who knows me, I don't take BS. I don't take it. If you have nothing to do, go and do it somewhere else. Don't come and do it with me. I will stand up for the rights of my people. If you cross my line, I will confront you, and that's who I've been for the longest. And so I felt that the reason why she was saying it is to make me feel like it was wrong to be a feminist, that I only acted the way I acted because I was a feminist. And context, we had this agreement, that she was sort of going back on, and I wasn't so happy with it, and she was justifying her reasons in I don't know, like, I don't know how to put it in a way that I don't want to go back there. That's done. I don't want to reveal that. But she told me, like, I know you're a feminist, and what, and she was talking nonstop, and she didn't want me to talk, and just sort of making me feel that I am acting a certain way because I'm a feminist, and not in a good way. And so I believe feminism is about equality. There is no need for one gender to go ahead while another gender lags behind. It's counterproductive. It defeats the purpose of why we fight for so much progress, because if one entire gender is left behind, there is nothing that we are going to achieve, because we need the whole of society to be able to make progress economically and every other aspect. And so equality matters to me. It matters to me that men and women are treated the same. We are not the same. Men and women are not the same, and I believe that we are not the same, but we deserve equal treatment. So when a woman is going to school, a man also needs to go to school. When when a man owns land, a woman also needs to own land. Like, it should not be an issue of you are a woman, you cannot access these rights just because you're a woman. I hope you understand me. And so feminism is about equality. We believe everyone needs to access the same rights, and everyone ought to be able to play on a level playing field. So a lot of the times what I get is that men and women are the same. I don't know where you are at, but where I work and the nature of the work that I do, I still meet a lot of discrimination. Case in point, teen pregnancy is a menace, and it sort of draws back an entire gender behind. And teen pregnancy is an issue that only affects the girls. Truth be told, boys don't get pregnant, and even when they impregnate a girl, chances are that they are never responsible. They don't drop out of school, they don't have to go and deliver, and they continue with their schooling at the expense of a girl who has to drop out of school so that they're able to take care of this child. Chances are, once they drop out of school, they don't go back to school. That's an issue that needs to be addressed. Menstruation. Boys don't menstruate. Girls miss school hours because they cannot afford sanitary towels. I cannot go to a school to give girls sanitary towels and then I give boys boxers. I refuse to do that thing. And the reason why I refuse to do it is there is no equivalent for sanitary towels. If I'm giving girls panties, I would give boys boxers. I will not give boys boxers because I'm giving girls sanitary towels. It does not make sense. There is no equal to menstruation when it comes to men, and that's a fact. For a long time in this country, women were not supposed to own land. Believe it or not, at the house, you were not a person. A woman was not a person who was supposed to own until the new constitution. There was a time in this country that women were not allowed to travel out of this country without consent from either their father or their husband. You were attached to a file of either your husband or your your father. You were not a person. And every single time that we keep on talking about feminism and the reason why we need to ensure that these rights are protected, but also that we stretch towards other rights. Like, for example, why should men inherit and women not inherit? And though it's in law, there is a big disconnect between law and practice. And until we get to a point that there is that connect, that people understand that this is why this is in the law, it's important for it to be in the law. It doesn't matter how many laws we make. We have to get to a point where we have consensus on things that are supposed to be given to a human being just because they're a human being. I work in the space of gender a lot, and there's a lot of men that are raped and defiled, and don't take me men and boys, and so I don't say that doesn't happen, but still the majority are women and girls, and they need to be protected. And I don't know whether the word feminism is what makes people go, I don't know. I don't know whether it's the word. Maybe we need to change the word to be able to reflect what we really want to say. But I don't get it when women are in the front line of shaming other women because you're a feminist. Like, you're a feminist, like, just to make you feel bad about the fact that you're fighting for equality. And there are women who did this before we came. There are women who fought. And so we have a bunch of women who are pick-me's and they don't want to identify with feminism because men hate it. And so we have to appeal to men, and we have to ensure that we are not confrontational. We need to be nice and we need to be good girls. And that's on you, and that's okay. It's your choice. What pisses me off is when women begin to fight other women for fighting for rights. We have to keep fighting, guys. The war has not been won. And though we have to acknowledge that we have come a long way, and there's so many things that we have already achieved, which is perfect and nice, there are still so many things that we need to achieve. That's on the one side. On the other side, what makes me really angry about the movement is that we are putting women in a box. To me, equality means that I am free to access my rights, and if I don't want it, that's okay. You don't force it on me. And so we have a group of women who make married women, for example, feel bad, like who make who make like marriage seem like you're in some sort of prison. Excuse me, not everyone in marriage is in prison. Another thing is there are women who are drawn towards serving, and they serve their men, they do things for their men. And that's okay, so long as someone is not being forced to do it. There are people who derive their pleasure from doing that. But because we are so accustomed to telling women what and to do and what not to do, there is a thin line, an extremely thin line, when we start judging people for their choices, women, because we feel we are better feminists than other feminists, that we are the gatekeepers of feminism. Excuse me. If someone wants to do something, they have a right to do it, because no one is policing anyone. And feminism should never be about policing someone's choices. If I choose to live like I chose, that's fine. It should be fine with you. It's fine with me. And so those are also things that we need to have conversations about, because you've gotten to a point that you begin to twist your mouth because a certain woman has served food for their man. If you want to serve food for your man, go ahead, serve food for your man. If you want to get married, go ahead, get married. But then I'm not even giving you permission, because I don't have to give you permission. You can do whatever you want. The only thing about that irks me is the fact that we force women to be in a box. We force them to do things the way we want them to do it, and that simply cannot work. So long as I am not being forced into anything, I have a right to choose the way I want to live my life. And I hope that that becomes the mentality that we approach our activism and our advocacy with, that there are certain group of women that are fine, and they are fine with doing things that you might not be fine with, and that's okay. So long as it's not illegal, that's fine. It should be fine. But we sort of put ourselves in this scenario where we police other women, and that's not okay. The other thing is, when you talk about equality, and I don't know the struggle that we have, patriarchy is a big part of everything, and it's been rooted in us since time immemorial. And you find that a lot of times it's women who are perpetrators in terms of violating other women and violating their rights, and we need to speak about that. So equality, fighting for the equality and justice for everyone is everyone's role. And a lot of times we are so harsh on men when they do things, and then we are so silent when women perpetuate it, even without looking like they are. Like, they make it look so effortless, like you're just sort of siding with men, because not all men. First, I'm sick and tired of that term, not all men. Truth, not all people will do a certain things. When people say men, they refer to a majority. They shouldn't constantly tell you not all men. The reason why you're always there supporting and sort of being a gatekeeper for others is because you are, a lot of times, have your own insecurities. You didn't do it, someone is doing it, how dare she, and you want to pull them down. And I've seen women pull other women down because whatever that woman is doing, you have not done, and that makes you insecure. That's on you. What I'm saying is, women and men ought to access rights equally, and that should not be a debate. Let it be a right, and let them not access it, but let it be there for the people who want to access that right. So feminism, ladies and gentlemen, is about equality, and there's so many women who fought for these rights even before we were born, and it's such a disservice every time we pull ourselves down and we tear each other down and we try to make it look like you're this big mouth fool who doesn't know what she's saying and all these things. It must stop. Because the reason why you're seated somewhere and driving a car is because someone fought for your right to drive that car. Someone fought for your right to own land. And you might not want to actively go ahead and fight for it. Just don't be on the way. Get out of the way. Do your thing. Be a pick-me all you want. You can do whatever you want. Don't be on the way of fellow women who are fighting for the rights of other sisters. Because at the end of the day, you are a beneficiary. Those 2 English that you say is because someone fought for your right to go to school. None of my aunties went to school. It was not even an issue. Like, how would you want to go to school? Like, you're only as good as being elderly enough and going and them getting cows in return. That was it. Why would I educate someone who would go to another community? And so someone fought for you to even have that English that you come to Facebook and start confronting people with and telling people, oh, you are a feminist or all these things. Stop it. If you cannot do it, let the people who want to do it. And if you feel that you have valid concerns, I believe that there is a way that we address issues and we think about issues without pulling other people down. So when you talk about feminism, I believe, like Chimamanda, everyone should be a feminist. Every single person should be a feminist. We are all created equally in the image and likeness of God. Everyone should be a feminist. But because you choose not to, that's fine. But what I want to say is every time we pull each other down and make everyone feel as if what you're doing like makes you be branded a certain way, and so we are always talking about this thing of feminism as if it's some devils, like you're little devils everywhere, spoiling everyone else's peace. Stop it. I'm a feminist, a proud feminist. I stand in the shoulder of so many great, amazing women, and I want to pay it forward. And I hope that every one of us has it in us, especially the ladies, to pay it forward. Make this continent, make this country better for other women. And so that's it. That's all that I can say. I am a proud feminist, and I hope that you consider being a feminist. So fight for equality in whatever space, in whatever right, and I hope that we open up this conversation and get to learn. If the language is off, let's work on the language, but let's not miss the message. So thank you very much. Until next time, bye.